Thank you all. I apologize if I'm a little low on energy. I've got two Great Danes, and they decided to get up and play in the middle of the night about 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, they knew I had work today, so they do that. This is my, I think, fifth conference. The lottery is a proud supporter of this conference, and I always take a lot away from it, from folks in the audience, from the folks from the council, and like I said, the Council on Problem Gambling, Roslyn and Kimberly Hinkle Browning. I appreciate the invitation to be here. Before I dive in, I want to give a little bit about some background before I came to the lottery. This is a picture of me about a year ago speaking at a national conference down in Georgia on RG. I worked 30 years in state government communications roles, helping connect Kentuckians with much needed services, what many of you all in this room do each and every day. Some of the programs, policies that I worked with, charitable gaming, juvenile and adult correction services, victims of crime and addiction recovery services, consumer protection, especially senior protection, transportation services, and then overall constituent services for two governors. In those roles, it was critical that we had guidance and partnerships from external stakeholders. In those instances, it was Kentucky Rape Crisis Centers, Prevent Child Abuse Kentucky, recovery centers like the Independent House in Corbin or Kentucky River Community Care in Jackson, AARP with the seniors, and then I also worked with 93 county judge executives across Kentucky. Now, at the Kentucky Lottery, I am helping manage the responsible gaming program. Kate Hanratty, who is the lottery's senior paralegal, is with me here today. She is a co-project manager for RG at the lottery with me. I want to talk a little bit today about RG in the gaming industry to help better understand its importance to us, the available tools the industry offers our players, and just an overall general understanding as you work with individuals, each having specific needs you're addressing in your roles. This is my belief that a gaming organization's responsible gambling initiative cannot be truly effective without a strong working relationship with external RG stakeholders. Again, many of you who are in this room today. A few examples. Back in September, FanDuel hired NCPG, which is the National Council on Problem Gambling, Executive Director Keith White as a responsible gaming strategic advisor. White led the NCPG for 25 years. Each lottery across the nation works with in-state RG stakeholders. Just a few examples. In Missouri, they work with the Alliance to Curb Problem Gambling. New Jersey, obviously, the Council on Compulsive Gambling, which is the agency that oversees 1-800-GAMBLER. And then in Oregon, they both work with the state agency, the Health Authority, and they work with their Council on Problem Gambling. In Kentucky, it's no different. The Kentucky Lottery has a strong working relationship with the Kentucky Council on Problem Gambling, the Kentucky Division of Mental Health Promotion, Prevention, and Preparedness Branch. Emily Flath is going to speak after me. She is a key resource for us. And then with River Valley Behavioral Health in Owensboro, which oversees the Kentucky helplines for problem gambling. We rely heavily on their expertise. River Valley Behavioral Health, you will see in the bottom left-hand corner of the slide, that's Heather Henderson and Jeremy Kiefer. They spoke to our responsible gaming committee at the lottery in 2024. And I will go into more detail about our governing body, our RG committee at the lottery here in a few minutes. Division of Mental Health, Emily Flath, who you will hear from. She spoke to our RG committee in 2025. She's there in the right-hand corner of the slide. And just 2 weeks ago, Executive Director of the Kentucky Council, Kimberly Hinkle-Browning, shared with us her vast experience, her advocacy, and goals to ensure the health of Kentuckians. The lottery gets monthly updates related to the problem gambling helpline operated by River Valley Behavioral Health. This guidance that we receive from these and other external RG stakeholders is invaluable to us. And I'll give you a quick example. Last summer, around August, there was a legal battle over 1-800-GAMBLER. The New Jersey Council on Compulsive Gambling, which owns the rights to 1-800-GAMBLER, was, for the lack of a better word, renting it to NCPG, the National Council. There was some disagreement on moving forward with that understanding, so there was a lot of confusion about 1-800-GAMBLER. We did not want the helpline situation to impact our players. So what do? We went directly to the source. Mike Stone, the previous executive director of the Kentucky Council, and Jeremy Kiefer, who is the council's helpline committee chair, gave us clear guidance. The council said that 1-800-GAMBLER, as Rosalind talked about earlier, has been around since the mid-1990s. It is the branded hotline here in Kentucky. The Kentucky Council, Mike Stone, reached out to New Jersey and was assured that 1-800-GAMBLER helpline would continue. Jeremy even went as far as to verify the call, chat, and text functionalities of 1-800-GAMBLER was working properly. So the lottery received clear communication to prevent any confusion for our players. And that was an important time for us at the lottery. We were right in the middle of our annual RG audits for our retailers. We have 3,500 retailers across the state, and I will get into those audits a little later. And we were in the middle of refreshing our RG materials, which you will see here in a moment, which included 1-800-GAMBLER. So we had all of this new material at retail with 1-800-GAMBLER, and thanks to the guidance from the council, we knew that we had the right number on that information. As if there's more to the story, last month, NCPG decided to come out with its own hotline, 1-800-MY-RESET. This has caused a lot of confusion in the gaming industry, not knowing what direction to go in. 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-MY-RESET. Because of the clear guidance from the Kentucky Council, we knew that we had 1-800-GAMBLER where it needed to be. But we took 1-800-MY-RESET and we put it on our website to ensure that it was right next to 1-800-GAMBLER. Whoever calls those numbers are routed to River Valley Behavioral Health, knowing that our players are getting the help that they need. Our ongoing commitment to the health of our players means we have our program assessed by national and international RG experts, which is the industry standard. I would like to take you through these assessments to show you how the industry relies on external RG stakeholders to ensure we are offering the current viable information to our players. So what are these assessments? The NCPG has an assessment called the Internet Compliance Assessment Program, or ICAP. That is a certification on the left, which is an RG audit of our iLottery or online gaming platform. This assessment is performed by London, England-based Gambling Integrity, which is one of the world's most experienced player protection advisors and assessors working on the World Lottery Association and European Lottery Responsible Gaming certifications. If anybody in this room knows what RG looks like in Europe, we are put under a very clinical lens with our RG for our players. This audit certification looks at all aspects of our RG program except our retailers. This is just for our online platform. It's every 2 years, and in May, Kate and myself and our entire RG committee will be going through this assessment once again. I think it'll be our 8th assessment. NCPG, along with NASPL and the World Lottery, which are the associations that lotteries belong to, has its own assessment. Every aspect of the lottery is looked at, including retail. There are 4 individual national and international RG's assessors for this assessment, and it's every 3 years. Each assessment is a 6-month process. Let's look at the areas of assessment, and I want to take you all through these areas so that you understand what is looked at, what we improve. As you work with folks, you understand the complexities of our RG program, some of the safeguards we have, should you need to use any of them, and just an overall knowledge. We have planning and governance, employee training, retailer training, player and public education, product oversight and advertising, research and resources. The training, player, and public education. We have our staff and our retailers and our customer service staff trained annually. We have a robust RG policy at the lottery. Excuse me 1 second here. I think I skipped a slide. Where is slide 6? We have a robust RG policy at the lottery. We have an RG committee made up of 20 staff of the lottery. It starts with our president and CEO, Maggie Garrison. We have our products team on it. We have our marketing team. We have our legal team. We have our communications team, our sales team. We even have our internal auditor. Everything that goes through the lottery, product information, strategy to improve our RG program, is included and overseen by this committee. Rosalind talked a little bit about the council's strategic plan. We decided that our overall strategic plan needed to have an RG strategic plan. You know, you have a policy like we have at the lottery, but you have to have the vehicle to move that forward. So we have a strategic plan in place, and the RG committee is the one that drives that. We had an assessor from our last ICAP assessment give us this information. And from that, we were able to evolve our program to better meet the players where they were. And this is what she had to say, and this is Gambling Integrity out of London, England. Call 1-800-GAMBLER is not a responsible gambling message, but rather an information call out for treatment support. Rather consider how to widen the positive play message. The vast majority of lottery customers do not perceive themselves as gamblers and therefore do not feel they need to bother with tools such as deposit limits or timeouts. However, your lottery customers, especially those most at harm, are likely to also be using other gambling products, and the positive play message should seek to encourage them to think more broadly about how best to keep their gambling at a level which is for entertainment. So we took that, right? And so we made some changes to our information for our players. Previously at retail, we had this sticker, this information about our age restriction. You have to be 18 or above to play the lottery. This not 18, no way, don't play, we felt like it stopped players right there, right? Don't even try to learn about RG. Just stay away from everything. We moved into our positive play message. We talk about where you must be 18 to play. You can learn more about the lottery. We give the website address, but we also give a QR code, right? Because we want our players to be educated. We do not want to stop them from learning things about self-exclusions, age restrictions, limits on how much they can bet. So we felt like this was inviting our players to learn more because it's all about educating them, as the assessor said, so that they can play within their means, so that it's entertainment and it does not cause them harm. I don't know how these slides got out here. So, another aspect that we did at retail is that you see we had this play responsibly, 1-800-GAMBLER, call, text, chat, the yellow, the black, the exclamation point. Again, we felt like this kept our players from learning more about responsible gaming. So our refresh at retail was to take our rack card that you see here and to give more information. If you're looking for support, reach out. And here are 10 questions that you should consider. And if you answer yes to any of these questions, you should consider seeking support. Again, we did not want to stop our players from finding out more because RG helps folks understand the more they are educated about the lottery, the safer they can play. And then obviously we have our age restriction sign at the retail as well. Player and public education, with March being Problem Gambling Awareness Month. This is an email that we sent directly to players asking them to please play responsibly, and it gives information to them about how to play responsibly, and if you can't play responsibly, we give them information for them to learn more, to seek help, and so we go directly to the players with emails. Our online products, someone earlier was talking about self-exclusions at casinos and the hard process of that. For us, for someone to play online, first there has to be a rigorous verification of the age. We have deposit limits for our online play, and then we have timeouts and self-exclusions. The first screen that you see there are our timeouts. Someone that may need to take 48 hours, 7 days, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. If someone wants to self-exclude, that includes 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, and then permanently self-exclude. If someone permanently self-excludes, there's no going back. We don't change our mind. And mentioned earlier, they were talking about when someone's self-exclusion is coming up on retiring, they're 3 months away or 2 months away or a week away from their self-exclusion at another form of gaming, they send them emails. We have no contact with the players whatsoever. When they self-exclude, they get no emails, they get nothing. They are off the platform until they choose to return. And just because someone self-excludes for this amount of time, they may choose longer. And new to the Kentucky Lottery, when Jeremy and Heather and Rosalind knows this, came and spoke to the lottery, they talked about the difficulty of treating gambling addiction on property. That for the lottery, if someone has an addiction with a lottery product on property, what does that look like? Jeremy and Heather explained that is giving your credit card to someone else and letting them go in and make the purchase for you. Only giving yourself a limited amount of cash so that you don't spend it on other things. Don't go into the store, just pay for your gas and drive on. Again, that may be difficult for some people. The lottery is the first lottery in the nation to launch what we call connected play. It bridges the online play with the retail play. And the RG component of that is that if someone wins online or they have money in their wallet, they can set limits in that wallet. And they can only have $50 on that app in their wallet to be able to go into the store to purchase tickets. They can scan it on the vending machine, but they can only spend that much. So as far as on property, that is another safeguard for our players. Let's talk about advertising. We have rigorous national standards. We have brand standards at the lottery. The lottery is one of the few lotteries in the nation that has a chief brand officer. Edie Franks, she ensures that everything that we put out marketing-wise is put through our RG pathways. A couple of examples up here. Avoid making false promises or presenting winnings as a probable outcome. Do not encourage people to play excessively or beyond their means. Again, we have standards that we hold ourselves to for our players. And again, this is an area that we are assessed on for these national assessments. And then this is another area of our advertising where our positive play sticker is on the advertising to let folks know that it's branded across all the platforms. We would not be doing ourselves any justice if we did not listen to the data, the information, the panel that was before us, the information that they told us, the information that our RG external stakeholders tell us. We listen to them. But we also have a research department within the lottery. Greg Wood, he is the director of our research. And every year they do RG research with our players. We're doing it this month for Problem Gambling Awareness Month. And we are asking our players information about how they see their play. And the bottom one, for example, if I gamble more often, it will help me win more than I lose. Well, you want to see 100% folks agree with that, right? But the fact that there's some that disagree with that, but then there are some that agree or are neutral, that just shows that we have more work to do. And also gives us guidance on how we communicate with our players, knowing what they know. I'm looking forward to getting the information from this year's responsible gaming research to help us move our program forward. Resources. I have to give a shout out where credit is due to Chip Polston, who was in my role for a while. He was on the Kentucky Council until recently. He ensured that the lottery, as Rosalind talked about, funded areas of treatment. We are members of the Kentucky Council on Problem Gambling. We are a member of the National Council on Problem Gambling. And those memberships allow us pathways into the expertise that you've heard yesterday, that you're hearing today. The National Council allows us to have webinars every month that we listen to, that we learn, that we send out to our staff so that they can learn. Because at the lottery, we have 175 employees. It doesn't matter if you work in finance, if you work in procurement, if you are driving a forklift in our warehouse. Everyone at the lottery has a role in RG. Folks know that you work for the lottery. Someone may come up and say, hey, I've got someone that needs help. I need help myself. Our sales team that goes out and conducts the RG audits. One of the assessments that we did said that we should do our retail training virtually. Well, we disagreed with that. Our sales team goes into each store once a year and does face-to-face RG training with our retailers. to do it virtually would not have that one-on-one connection. We have to make sure that our retailers are properly trained. We have to make sure that they realize of the age restriction, that the products that are sitting on the counter or that the vending machine is in the line of sight of the clerk, so that no one under 18 is playing the lottery. We want the retailers to know that if someone needs help, there is the rack card, the information, the positive play that the retailer can present to them. At the same time, it's good for them to talk to the retailers. If the retailer knows someone, a player that may need help, or sometimes there could be players at the store that need help. And so being and connecting with the retailers one-on-one, face-to-face, we felt like that was the right way for us to go and not going the virtual route. We did not have that hands-on experience. The lottery supports the text chat capability underwriting for 1-800-GAMBLER. And we obviously work with these assessments with the ICAP and the NCPG. So we've made progress, right? Our last assessment back in 2024, we got great scores. It said it's extremely rare that a lottery gets this type of assessment score. And that's great, right? Because you always want to assess yourself. But there's more work to be done. And that's what makes the role of each of you in this room important. The Kentucky Lottery looks forward to continue to working with you. As Rosalind talked about, I did not realize the limited number of folks who were in the addiction field for addiction recovery. If you are going down the path to do that, with the fact that we only have 4, there is certainly a need. And the lottery wants to continue to partner with everyone in this room so that we can be better, that the health of our players is the most important thing. So I appreciate it, and if you have any questions, fire away. No questions? Absolutely, sir.
You mentioned about the on-site training. I'm wondering with the staff turnover, I mean, that seems like that would be a very onerous job because there's always turnover. You may go out and train today, but the staff you trained are no longer there.
Yeah, so we have a video, and it's on our YouTube channel, that is the RG training. So they watch the training virtually, and they share it with their staff virtually. So as new staff come on, a requirement of ours is for them to watch the training. When we train we work with corporate accounts, Walmart, Clark's Pump and Shop, but we have a lot of mom and pop shops, independent stores. They make sure that their employees are trained. When we train the manager, the other staff, they go and train the new employees that come on. It's the same with the Kentucky Lottery. When we have new employees that come on, a part of the onboarding is that they go through an RG program so that they see their purpose in RG. Yes, sir.
When Chip Poston was there and I had a relationship with him, we had an agreement that when I spotted something in my travels,
absolutely,
I would take a picture of
okay.
it. And since he's been gone, I don't do that anymore.
Well, we would love that. As a matter of fact, anyone who would want to do that, our staff does that. In fact, we send our sales team pictures all the time of things that aren't right, so that they can interject. So I will give you my cell phone number after this, and I expect to hear from you.
Okay, and the other thing I would do is go in and ask a clerk, where can I get some help?
Right.
And that way I could let
test, right.
to him that you can talk, but you can't make people listen.
That's right.
And so and also once in a while I would find that the lottery area would have boxes stacked up or something like that, so you couldn't see.
Correct.
And sometimes I would take pictures like that.
Yeah.
And so that process is going on. go on, if I did it, but is there some formal relationship that has those things checked out?
Yeah, so obviously in our more populous regions like Louisville and Lexington, there's less space at retail, right? So they have a lot of products that they want to sell to their customers. So they have to stack stuff, right? And so our sales team, when they go in, like the picture that you sent, Chip, they ask the clerk, because our retailers have a contract with us, right? They have to ensure that our PlayStations that are there that have the RG material cannot be obstructed. We ask our retailers to ensure that the rack card information, the RG information is always stocked, but that is what our sales team does year round. You talk about asking a clerk. The lottery recently had a partnership with the Kentucky Bourbon Association for the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. And the association went to a Kroger in Louisville to buy a number of the bourbon scratch-off tickets for their board members to show them of this partnership. Now, the proceeds from this scratch-off went to the Kentucky Distillers Association for them to use that money to help educate their future master distillers. So they put that money toward education. When the staffer went to buy a high volume of tickets, she could tell the clerk was a little nervous, right? And so the clerk stopped her and said, "Can I ask you why you're buying this many? You know, can we talk about this?" But then once she explained what it was, she understood. So we do have folks like that, but we can always be better. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am, yes.
Do you have a personal goal for the RG?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, we do. So one of the things, when I came on, I realized that we had an RG committee, but it wasn't meeting as much as it should. The RG committee now meets every quarter. The RG committee has grown from maybe 7 folks to 20 because it's not just me, right? I don't know everything about the lottery. The gaming industry is very complex. I've only been there 2.5 years. We have employees on the RG committee that have been there 36, soon to be 37 years. Next month was the lottery's birthday. So we have brought on more staff members that have the expertise to say, wait a minute, you're missing this aspect of it, so that we can talk together. One of the things that we would like to do is, with the onset of younger players playing other forms of gaming, the 18 through 24-year-olds, we are looking to do things as RG influencers. Rhode Island Lottery works with a young gentleman that has a podcast and a radio show. They go on once every 6 months and they talk about gambling responsibly. And so those are the things that we're looking to do as a generation grows. I'm 55, I'm from the old generation, but as these younger folks come through and they're gambling on this device, which I believe was called a toilet yesterday, right? If anyone was listening, I agree with that. We are trying to meet the players where they are to get that information out there. I heard folks talking about different economic studies, different data that was discussed yesterday. Knowing that data, knowing the information that you all are getting as you help folks navigate their lives, the more information we have, then the better we can be in meeting our players where they are. An educated player, we want to ensure that they have the odds, right? They know the odds, that they aren't chasing a ticket or that the prize has been paid out. That information is on the website. Part of what I do is we work with our winners who come in, every release that we send out, we put the remaining prizes in there. Some people may look at that as us trying to get more people to play, but we're trying to let people know that, okay, so you won $1,000 or $100,000 on this ticket. There are no longer any top prizes on this ticket. So we try to educate our players so that they play educated, they play wisely. And so we have so much more to do. And I think when we do this internet compliance audit in May, it'll be the second one that I have done. Gambling Integrity out of London, England. They have taught us so much. And I really hope that they look at our program and they give us even more information where we can improve. And if anyone in this room sees areas where you think we could do better, or if there's any areas of concern, you heard Rosalind talk about where we reach out to the folks at the council. You know, we want our players to play responsibly and to be healthy when they play. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
One more question.
Yes, sir.
In the early days, the lottery funded a representative from the Kentucky Council.
Correct.
To NASPO.
Correct.
And there is now with the Arch Gleason Award,
Uh-huh.
the NASPO is probably the best place for us to advertise the Gleason Award.
Correct.
Is there any plan for doing that as
Yes.
part of the lottery's activities at NASPO?
Correct. So before Mike Stone left or retired at the end of last year, Mike always reached out to me to give me the information about the Gleason Award. And we would send that not only to NASPO, which NASPO is the Lotteries Association, but we would also send that out to all the lottery trade publications so that they could put that out there so that folks could nominate. I know last year, I think the most recent person who received that award was Kate Carlson from the Hoosier Lottery. An amazing individual. I learned so much from Kate each and every time I meet up with her. So no, we're absolutely doing that. And with Kimberly Hinkle Browning, who came and introduced herself and talked about the guidance and where she wants to take the state with responsible gaming. I will continue to do that with her as well. Anybody else? Yes.
Is there like protections for, say, someone who works at a retail outlet that kind of comparison, you know, like a bartender, if they quit overpouring and say, I'm not going to serve you anymore. In cases like where I live, you have guys that come in and cash their paycheck at a small grocery store, just like a little convenience
Sure.
store, take the cash and then buy,
Right.
spend all the cash on lottery tickets.
Right.
Is there something in place that would protect that retail person from pushback for saying, hey?
So are you saying, so the question I believe is what sort of on-site retailer safeguards would the lottery get mad at that retailer if they tried to get the person to stop, or what provisions does?
Would you support that?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So we have retailers, our sales team, they're constantly calling us to let us know when there is such a situation at a store. They talk about that. They let the retailers know, hey, here is some information for you. That's why we wanted to refresh that rack card so it didn't look so like we were handing them a timeout card, right? So that the person didn't think that there was something wrong with them. We wanted to get the information to them. That's important. One of the things that we're hoping to go to in the future is, so to cut down on that stigma, We have some of our tickets come out of the terminals, right? Like if you've ever bought a Powerball ticket. To not do the stigma, to not embarrass someone, to really try to get them help. Instead of handing them that card, that would maybe embarrass them in front of other customers, their friends. Where are you from?
I'm from, London, Corbin.
Oh, okay, okay. So at a smaller retailer, everybody knows everybody, right? And so one of the things we want to do with our technology is to have the clerk be able to hit a button, and from that machine, a message comes out with help information with 1-800-GAMBLER, that they can hand them that to give them the help. So we're trying everything we can to try to help people play responsibly. Yeah, it looks like another ticket, right? So that they don't say, you know, there's no pushback from them. But yes, our retailers, again, take every step necessary. And in these smaller towns, again, we work with the winners of the lottery that come in every day. In Kentucky, you can choose to give your name, or you can tell your story anonymously, or you can not share it at all. We make sure that we uphold the wishes of the winners. One of the things we can't do is in a lot of these smaller towns, everybody, like I said, knows everyone. And so a lot of times these retailers, they go to church, they go to the Rotary Club, they've known this person forever. And so that is an advantage in and of itself, right? They can talk to a family member that comes in and says, hey, I think so-and-so needs a little help. So the smaller communities, that is definitely a plus.
Great information to know.
Anybody else? All right. Well, listen, have a good conference, and I appreciate you all attending.